So took my trade for today. Ended up being a dub. Uh, so I'll kind of run you through my top-down analysis and what I was looking for. Um, coming into this week, right? It's Monday, so there's a new week opening gap opened. So I was paying attention to that. Um, but what I looked at, right, coming into the macro, is when it was coming down. At first, I was thinking we're gonna come and after this candle at 9:30 closed, right, looking for a 15-minute gap. I thought we would come back to tap this, but we closed super low, right, and it wasn't really valid for a retracement. And after we swept this low, right, so we swept this liquidity right here in this 15-minute gap, and I was looking at this, and also we had an SMT right here, and it looks like the trade is looking to play out because I was targeting this at first, but but anyway, so it was a sweep SMT, which is my model, into the fair value gap, and I was just looking to see how price was reacting, right? So this was the first. This wasn't a really CISD because there was no structure, there was no like liquidity swept. So I waited. It came down. We swept liquidity at coming into the macro at 45. We swept this low, right, and then we inversed this gap. I was gonna enter on the inverse, but then I waited for CISD. CISD came 950. We tapped in CISD. I entered right here. I stopped at this low under this candle, and I was kind of monitoring it because right, as long as it was respecting this inverse, I kind of moved it a little bit after here because if it was to wick me, I didn't want to get wicked out. But so we continue to respect this inverse. I held, went break even right here. Went break even right here, and I took 75% of my position right here. And I was kind of aiming for these highs, which is a little bit greedy of me. I'm not gonna lie because, because I took the standard deviation and I marked it out and looked like it aligned with that high. So I was like, okay, well, we might just run through it. But if it's a 15-minute gap, we're gonna have a reaction from it, and most likely we're gonna come back and rebalance. And that's what we did. So, so I took 75% off. I left the runner, but we ended up getting stopped out of break even for my runner, and then now we're continuing to move to the upside, which damn kind of sucks. Like if it would have respected, I would have liked it. So I should have aimed for low hanging fruit, honestly, but since the fair value gap was in the way, so still got a dub for today though. It was clean on my model. It looked good. Didn't force it. I saw it executed. Didn't hesitate. And that's about it really. So now it looks like it's gonna actually hit this high, right? But at first it needed to wick it, come back down. Let me see what it respected, bro. Yeah, it continued, came back down to tap this inverse. Come back down, tap the inverse and the CISD, and continue to respect it. Then we had a continuation, so it looks like we're gonna actually hit the target today. And this one thing, like I used to be only trade with your bias, but you just need to react to how, see how price reacting to certain levels. Like if we swept this liquidity, and we were respecting PD arrays, and it looks like we're not gonna reverse, then right, you react to that and okay, we're probably gonna continue lower. But even after the 15-minute gap opened, right here, I at least knew we were gonna go to the 15-minute gap, and I moved to break even right there. Right, so I took break even right here at the 15-minute gap. Right, we came up higher. This is my initial liquidity. Take profit. I took most off right here, which I should have took all of it off right here. Just took the low hanging fruit for 700, but ended up taking half. Left the runner. Got stopped out on the runner, so it's all good though. I'm just still to learn from. And overall, yeah, just reacting. I need to focus more on reacting to the markets instead of trying to predict what's gonna go. What's gonna happen. Like if don't get married to your bias, but at the same time, it like I knew in this trade I was trading against the bias really, because I'm thinking we're like from what I analyzed, I thought we were gonna come down to the new week opening gap. So I was kind of going against my own bias. So it's kind of like that's why I didn't aim for. That's why I took 75% off here in case we continue higher. But just I think I should just kind of go for low hanging fruit and whatnot. But um, yeah, so it's really not much to it. Good trade, good way to start off the week. Now it's just not giving the shit back by doing dumb shit, bro. Not giving all the progress I made back. Now I'm back at break even, as you can see. Right, so I'm like up 200 on that count. So yeah, like I just have to have a solid week and not do dumb shit, bro. If I could do that, hopefully I can pass the account, right? And I have about 2 more weeks. I mean, this week and the next week. So, we'll see. Inshallah, bro, we will pass. And bro, this weekend, bro, I was getting cooked back testing. So I'm not gonna lie, like I was getting so frustrated. I was trying to force things when I was back testing. I started questioning my setup. Like I don't know, bro. I couldn't lose, bro. I went on like an eight loss, 8 streak losing streak, 8 trade losing streak, bro. I don't know, am I retarded? But yeah, I went on an 8 loss losing streak, bro. And I was like, what the, bro? And I just had a 56% backtesting session, right? And then I lost 12% in the span of 3 months in that backtesting session. And I'll show y'all. And bro, like I was questioning my whole, I was questioning everything, but I was like, bro, do I even know what I'm doing? Bro, but I'm not changing bro, I've gone through this so many times. I'm not changing my model. I'm just going to continue to refine it and, improve upon it. But look, like I'm kind of embarrassed to show this, but look, right? So I was getting cooked, bro. This is just keep it real. Like, bro, 12, bro. I was getting cooked. Look, I was just taking it. Like, I was just emotional, taking L's. I was trying to force things. I wasn't really in the flow state. And then, right, like, I don't want you guys to think I'm a complete ass, but like, this is the previous months, the last, like, the first, second, third quarter. Look at my performance when I'm actually, like, compared to, right, 51%. Damn, like, September, I kind of did shit. But yeah, you're not going to do well every month, but, like, I was doing well, and then this month, I just got cooked, bro. I mean, the last 3 months, like, I don't know what happened. I just wasn't, my mind just wasn't on, like, I wasn't trading well at all, so that just goes to show, yeah, like, when you try to force things, you're not in the right mind. If you're not in a winning frequency, you're not going to win. So it's just, like, figuring out what are the things that allow me to be in a winning frequency, because even when if you hoop, and in your mind, you're taking a shot, like, when you're just in flow state and you're just hooping, like, if you play basketball and you're just hooping and you don't have to think about the moves, it's just happening, right? Like, you're just flowing and you're like, all right, this move, hezzy, okay, pull up. Like, you don't have to think about it. It just happens, right? That's the same thing I try to think of, like, when I'm trading, like, just, like, okay, you have a strong daily bias. If you're starting to question things, like, when I'm questioning the bias, like, I try to force trades. Like, I'm like, okay, these conditions are kind of bad, but this is my model. It's a sweep, SMT. Like, now I journal. I'm like, bro, if I get in the markets and I see conditions are trash, like, or I see there's nothing for me there, it doesn't look like there's going to be any trade, I'm just not going to trade, but I'm just going to, like, get out. Like, so, like for example, if we're in, like, trending markets, like, we had a huge expansion overnight, and, like, we're just, like, let me find an example. Like, let's say, like, right here, like, let's say I come into the day and it looks like this. I don't trade this well, right? I trade this, like, sweep, right? Sweep, SMT, and then we have a move. Like, I need market structure. Like, this, if I try to trade this, like, I'm gonna get cooked because there's no structure for me to base my analysis. Like, trending markets I don't do good, which like I don't need to be trying to be good at everything, right? So that's why I kind of learned over time with backtesting is like knowing what conditions you're best at and knowing what conditions you're not best at, right? You don't trade operate best in, and just it's a removal process instead of an addition. I'll always try to add, simplify your process as much as possible, and that's more what I'm kind of noticing over time. And I'm gonna keep trying to refine it. I'm not changing my model. I'm not doing any of that bullshit again. I might make small tweaks, but that's it, bro. Like, cause you have to adjust to certain conditions, right? So, but that's it, bro. Like, I'm not changing. It's a sweep, fair value gap, reversal, or if we were coming down and we already had a tap in here and then we came up, swept. If like we swept out here, like this might be valid for a reversal. Like, we're probably gonna reverse from here. Yeah, like right here. All right, we're probably gonna continue lower. This is a sweep. If it's SMT, it'll be even higher probability sweep, and we're probably gonna continue lower, right? Now towards new week opening gap. All right, so this is a valid setup. But yeah, like I'm not trading. Like, I trade sweep liquidity and then market structure shift or CISD or inverse. That and right, it's during the macro as well, so this is probably gonna play out. But yeah, bro, it's just making these small tweaks, seeing the same thing happen over and over again. And if you keep if you keep switching models, you're not really gaining experience. Like, if you've been trading a year, but every quarter you change your model, you've been like completely like, come on, bro, you're not progressing. So yeah, it's just mastering your way of trading, right? So but yeah, a good way to start the week. I just have to make sure I don't sell. I have to make sure I don't mess I don't mess it up and do what I did Wednesday. So, but last week wasn't really that good. I kind of missed a lot of setups. Now and the reason I missed setups, because there was a good setup Thursday and Friday, was because I was looking for a CISD tap, and now like if I have an inverse before the CISD, I'll take the inverse, right? So because a lot of times you get left behind, so I'm gonna start doing that. Or CISD if it's closed. If the CISD is closed, if it closed and it's close to the CISD tap, I'm gonna just enter right there instead of waiting for it to tap back and setting a limit right there. I'll just mark it enter right there in case price wants to leave, because it does that a lot of the time and you don't get the entry, and now you just missed the setup. Like, I'll show you for example, right here, like on this trade. No, it wasn't this trade. It was Friday. No, it wasn't. Bro, what am I doing, bro? Okay, hold on, bro. I'm gonna find this trade. Yeah, right here. Right here, like I literally saw this whole trade play out, and what I expected happened, but I was waiting for the CISD tab. I had my limit right there, and I ended up missing the move, right? If I would have just entered on like this inverse or once it broke through and had my stop like right here, I would have had the trade. So, and I realized a lot, like it was happening a lot during my back testing. So I'm gonna do that, right? And so I'm not missing a lot of moves. Like, that's just stupid, especially if I'm already have my analysis. I have a strong draw liquidity, and just because the entry is probably the least important thing. So yeah, I'm gonna just start entering like that. Cause I want a higher trades frequency. I don't want to be taking like 2 trades a week, bro. It's kind of ass. But yeah, bro. So yeah, bro. It's a good way to start the Monday. And I'll be back tomorrow with another trade recap. Hopefully, with the same results. So yeah, y'all take it easy.